What's poppin', guys? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. Let's get into NXT for May the 23rd, 2023. This was the go-home show to this Sunday's NXT Battleground. And we are going to go over the predictions for Battleground. The only problem that I have is I wish that it was not going to go head-to-head with AEW. Double or nothing. That's the only thing I hate about this. I kind of wish that they did what they did last year, and that was to have NXT earlier on in the day. Maybe have it about like 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 o'clock. I'd shoot for about 3 o'clock at least, and then have it run to maybe about 5:15, 5:30. That's what I would do if I was booking it, but that's a lot of wrestling to consume. I don't know. But I guess they want to go head to head. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into the show. NXT was solid. I'm not going to hold you guys up. NXT was actually solid. We got a lot of stuff done in 2 hours. Really good stuff. So we kicked the show off with very quick promos from the Final Four women in the vacated NXT Women's Tournament. We got a promo from Tiffany, Stratton, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade, as well as Lyra, Valkyria. They all talked about how they're going to win and everything else, so it's nothing really to kind of go over there. First match of the night, Cora Jade versus Lyra, Valkyria. Lyra, Valkyria, she gets the win here. And then post-match, Lyra, Valkyria is attacked by Jade with the kendo stick. And so she's going into Battleground with an injury. Just kayfabe, mind you. So next, Dijak, he attacked, my bad. Ilja Dragunov attacked Dijak from behind. Officials rush over as Ilja was about to shut the garage door on Dijak. And then Vic, he showed us a document of a contract for both guys to sign later on in the night to make their last man standing match official at Battleground. And I did predict that because that makes the most sense. I think that the last man standing would make perfect sense, so I got that right. This leads us into Axiom versus Dabba Kato. Dabba Kato gets the win. This was a really quick match. Just maybe about 2 or 3 minutes. Post-match, Dabba Kato, he attacked Axiom, and then he puts him down. Out of nowhere, Scripps, a.k.a. Reggie, he comes into the mix. So he was able to take out Dabba Kato. And the officials, they hold back Dabba Kato. Reggie attempts to help Axiom. Axiom hesitates, and fans can't hug it out. So this is pretty cool. I actually kind of enjoyed that. I'm glad that they are over and done with Scripps, as the fans are chanting Reggie, so he no longer wears a mask, which is good, because that shit sucked. I guess they aren't going to get rid of Axiom and bring back A-Kid, even though that would be a lot better, but can't win them all, can we? But we really need to actually get rid of Axiom and just bring back A-Kid and make these guys a tag team. I think that would be kind of cool. I know it would be kind of weird, but it does make sense because NXT doesn't have the best tag division. It hasn't had the best tag division in probably about a year. I'd even say 2 years, honestly. So I'd say for the last 2 years, we've not had really any solid tag teams outside of the Creed Brothers, Gallus, and Briggs and Jensen. I think that's it. Really, realistic tag teams outside of those 3 teams. I'm talking about within the last 2 years. Moving on, I enjoyed this segment. This was tremendous as shit. I love this. So Tony D was backstage. He was in the interrogation room with police. So a detective says Tony's name keeps coming up in investigation, but he hesitates. But he insisted he's an honest man. Tony is accused of bribery. The detective has footage from an informant, which shows Tony, but Tony says there's no way that's him. Another detective walks in, a black guy. He walks in and tells the other guy that there's new footage to look at, and they leave, and then we see Tony trying to listen to what they're saying. So I enjoyed this. This is absolutely great. I absolutely love this. Such good shit here. This was fun. This was witty. This is great. This is really good television right here, folks. Really good. I love when Shawn Michaels does bizarre shit like this. This is tremendous. Tremendous. So moving on, we get a really decent little video package hyping up the NXT Battleground main event, focusing on Bron Breakker. He cut a good little promo about, why he turned heel and everything else, and how, he's there to embarrass Carmelo in front of his friends, family, in front of his hometown. He doesn't care about winning. So I do like this. I'm trying to think, what are they going to do with Bron when he does inevitably lose? Are they going to continue this? Or are they going to bring him onto the main roster? Like, what is it? Are we going to drag this out to a third match, possibly? I don't know. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there in the predictions. Next, Gallus. They're out there. And I was wanting to bang my head against the wall when all three of them started talking. I'm like, yo, Sean, can we not get subtitles when these guys are talking? Because I have no idea what they were saying at all. I have no idea. So Gallus were talking about how Battleground is stacked. They thought Tony D and Stacks would challenge them, but Tony is tied up. They indicate they're behind Tony's issue with the police. They also thought that the Creed Brothers would step up as well. Out comes the Creed Brothers. Julius and Brutus, they issue a challenge for Battleground. The two teams have a couple of words. Then Joe Coffey, he decks Julius out of nowhere. They have a brawl. Stacks runs out to make the save. And so the Creeds and Stacks, they're staring down Gallus. So I kind of do like this. This kind of makes sense. There could be some truth in what Gallus is saying, but I really think that I really think that Stacks is the one who probably called the police on Tony D. Because Tony D has done a lot of frivolous shit over the last year. He got rid of Two Dimes, and he's off in AEW somewhere. Although he might come back possibly, and then just recently, like 4 weeks ago, he got rid of Pretty Deadly. So yeah, so Tony D's a wanted man. Next, Mackenzie Mitchell, she's backstage with Wesley, asking about Tyler Bate and Joe Gacy. Wesley says he just knew he could trust Tyler, but he's not sure now. Mackenzie brings over Tyler Bate. Lee is not interested in what in Tyler's apology, so Lee dips out. Tyler Bate says he has nothing but respect for Wesley, while Gacy is a different story. But for tonight, he's going to worry about Eddie Thorpe. So this leads us into Eddie Thorpe versus Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate gets the win via the Tyler Driver 97. This is a pretty okay little match. It didn't go too long. A lot of the matches, for the most part, were kind of short. They were like 5 to 10 minutes, which is always a good thing. And then post-match, Joe Gacy, he attacks Tyler Bate. And then Wesley, he rushes in. Gacy side steps, and he takes out Wesley. And then, so he did like a double upside down. A double inside out. And then Gacy raises the title in the air, standing over Wesley and Tyler Bate. And then while we come back from commercial, there was this tension between Wesley and Tyler Bate. So this kind of makes sense, I guess. Again, I'm not for triple threat matches. I'm just not. I think it would have been a lot better if they would have had Joe Gacy versus Tyler Bate. My bad. Joe Gacy versus Wesley tonight. And then Wesley wins. And then we go on to Wesley versus Tyler Bate. That's what I would have done. Mackenzie Mitchell, she's in the trainer's room with Lyra Valkyria. Lyra says the swelling in her knee has to go down before they can look at it. But she says she feels no tears or ligament damage. Lyra says she'll be fine. She'll do rehab all week, and she will be ready. So Mackenzie then asks Lyra who she wants to face in the finals. Lyra wants to face Roxanne Perez. Because she sees Roxanne Perez as the best NXT. And I'm like, Lyra, what are you talking about? No, Roxanne Perez has no character. My girl has no character. And I like Roxanne Perez. She's okay, but her main problem is her character. She's good in the ring, but that's it. There's no character to her. She's bland. She's boring. There is no character, and that's not good. That is not good. She's been in NXT for a little over a year, and she still has no character. Still no character. I don't know. I don't know. Moving on. I already mentioned the argument between Wesley and Tyler Bate. So, Noam Dar versus Nathan Frazer. So this gave me NXT UK vibes back in maybe 2020 or early 2021. Nathan Frazer gets the win because Dragon Lee gets involved towards the end of the match. He hits a beautiful Phoenix splash. So I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins is probably somewhere smiling ear to ear. Although I don't like my champions losing. Sean, we didn't have to do that. But thankfully, with the Heritage Cup, there are no triple threat matches. So maybe when Noam Dar wins at Battleground, he'll probably end up facing Frazer again. I don't know. But this was a pretty solid match, I guess, for the most part. So Ilja, he's backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell. She has the harmless hold agreement that Dijak and Ilja are supposed to sign tonight. Dijak says he'll sign it tonight, but on Sunday, Dijak will know what Dragunov means when he says he's unbreakable. Well, he doesn't get to finish it. So Dijak comes in, he attacks Dragunov, and then they brawl some more. But other wrestlers are there to hold him back. So I did like that. So that was pretty cool. We got a really good hype video for Carmelo Hayes. This was great. We got to see him on his local radio show in Boston and everything else. It was tremendous. I actually enjoyed that. This is great. This is great. I'm stoked for Carmelo and Bron too. They really have built it up nicely, and I'm glad that they're going to run it back. Even though the match just happened last month, it's great. I'm looking forward to it 1,000%. I think match 2 is gonna blow match 1 off the water for sure. How they go about the finish, I don't know, but we know that Carmelo's not gonna lose that. They're not gonna just give Carmelo just a month reign and then, give it back to Bron Breakker. That's not gonna happen. Next, we had Tank Ledger versus Hank Walker. So, Hank makes quick work of Tank. Post-match, Bron Breakker, he comes out of nowhere. He delivers a spear to both Hank and Tank. And then he gets to the camera and says that he'll see Carmelo on Sunday. So I do like this. This makes perfect sense. So that was great right there. Really good call right there to just take out both guys. That was smart. So, Ivy Now and the Creeds, they're backstage along with Stax. So, the Creeds appreciate Stax for having their backs earlier. Even though they haven't always seen eye to eye in the past, the Creeds go on and mention how they'll get their NXT title back at Battleground. Stax says they'll be even more outnumbered on Sunday, so they could work something out with the Dawn. The Creed said they've been burnt too many times. But when Tony gets out, he and Stax can have the first shots at their titles. So I did enjoy that. That also makes a lot of sense as well. Smart decision there, because they have been burned in the past by Damon Kemp and Roderick Strong when Roderick Strong was there. Next, Gigi Dolan came out. So Gigi says she's not shy about the broken home she grew up in or her addict parents. She allowed JC in and only so Jane could tear it all down. Gigi would have done anything for JC, but she'll do anything to end JC. So Gigi goes on until Jane interrupts from the lounge above the crowd, saying, "Enough of all this emo talk." So JC says, "It all started up here, but that was the best run of Gigi's career." JC rants about how she was ready for bigger and better things. Gigi says JC just doesn't want to be remembered as the third wheel, which was great. I enjoyed that. JC mentions beating Gigi in front of her pathetic little brother. Gigi says they're 1-1, so let's end this now. So JC goes on ripping Dolan and her fans. JC said she can't wait to be done with Dolan for good. So Jane issues a challenge for a steel cage match next week. Gigi goes on about being as real as it gets, while JC is a fake ass bitch. I didn't enjoy that. That was great. So Dolan, she's going to accept the challenge, but let's make it a weaponized cage match. And then JC says she's on. So I dug this. I thought it was great. This is going to kick major ass. I'm glad that they didn't add it to the card to Battleground. I'm glad that they didn't do it, because it kind of makes sense that they didn't need to really do anything with that. I think they're trying to keep it to 5 matches, which is great. So I'm interested in seeing this. I'm hoping Mandy Rose does come back. I hope she does come back. She's been gone since, I want to say, what was it? Mandy's been gone for a while. She's been gone, I want to say, since January. So yeah, she's been gone for a good 5 months. who knows? We could see her next week. You never know. You never know. We could definitely see her next week. You never know. I part of me wishes that they would have had this at the pay-per-view, so we could have had the blow off there. But this actually, in my opinion, makes sense. Sometimes you have to do stuff on television to end certain feuds sometimes, and this was one of those. So we see attorney Lucia Crucifino. He's outside of a local courthouse. He says it's time for Von Wagner to face legal consequences. He tried explaining Von's situation to Mr. Stone in recent weeks, but they weren't listening. So tonight, things will be settled in the ring. Lucia says after tonight, Von will regret he didn't settle this outside of court. So we get a video package on the NXT Heritage Cup. So the anonymous NXT account shows Noam Dar backstage begging Oral Mensa to be in his corner this weekend because Dragon Lee will have Nathan Frazer in his corner. Dar tells Mensa to strap himself to Dar's rocket and they'll blast off. And then Mensa says absolutely not. And then he continues to walk off while Noam Dar begs. And then my girl Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, they walk up and they taunt Noam Dar, possibly losing this cup. Okay, that's cool, interesting. I'm trying to think, what are they going to do with Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson? They need to make them into a tag team. But the tag belts are no longer there. They're on the main roster. Again, that still boggles my mind. I can't figure that shit out at all. So that leads us into Lucia Crucifino versus Von Wagner. Crucifino wins via DQ. He brings out the photo of young Von with scars on his head, and Lucia calls Von a freak, and then Von just beats the shit out of Lucia. And then the referee, he ignores the referee's 5 count. That leads to the DQ. And then Von then power bombs Lucia on top of the announce table for a big pop. And the fans were actually cheering this shit too. They were actually cheering this, and I was shocked. I was like, what the hell? They actually like Von Wagner. I've seen it all. They actually like Von Wagner. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess this is okay, I guess. I don't know, but this ain't it, man. This ain't it. I mean, this is interesting. Let's see where it goes. So this may have just possibly turned Von babyface, because they were really into this. They even wanted him to powerbomb your boy one more time. So we're back with Tony D in the police interrogation room. Tony thinks that he's getting ready to leave because he has to go help his mother, but instead they place him under arrest and put him in handcuffs. So this was great. Like, they just say, put your hands behind your back, and they cuffed him out. Tremendous. Great. Good shit right there, Shawn Michaels. Good shit. Good shit. Tiffany Stratton versus Roxanne Perez. Semifinals. Tiffany Stratton wins via the prettiest moonsault ever. So I do like this. It was great that she defeated Roxanne Perez clean. This was a really good match. And Booker T on commentary said that Roxanne Perez is the veteran, which is correct. But, you know, because Tiffany Stratton's only been in the game for 2 years. And Tiffany's very impressive. You know, she's been in the game since 2021. So, yeah. I'm glad Tiffany won. It makes sense. I'm glad that Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez didn't go to the finals. So, Tiffany Stratton and Lyra Valkyria, they're arguing on the NXT Women's title belt on display. And then out of nowhere, Roxanne Perez is attacked by the hooded mystery woman. She attacks Roxanne Perez, and then she dips out. Trying to think of who this is. I'm guessing it's Blair Davenport. That's probably who it is for the most part. And then to end the show, we had the hold harmless agreement between Dijak and Ilja Dragunov. So Dragunov attacks Dijak, and a huge brawl breaks out. So they have a good little fight scene. Dijak signs the contract first, and then Ilja signs it next. And then Ilja does a torpedo Moscow, and he punches Dijak in the head, and then we go off the air with officials separating both guys. So I did enjoy that. That was great. So that was really good right there. All right, let's go ahead and get into the predictions. So we have Dijak versus Ilja Dragunov last man standing match. I hope this opens the show. I'm going to go with Ilja winning here. That would make the most sense. Dijak doesn't need the win. Moving on, Gallus versus the Creed Brothers for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I'm going to go with Gallus retaining. I don't see the Creeds winning. Next, the NXT Women's Championship Finals, Lyra Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton. I'm going to go with my girl, Tiffany Stratton. I mean, I could see Lyra winning, but I'm just going to go with Tiffany Stratton since she defeated Roxanne Perez clean. She should do the same with Lyra. Wesley versus Joe Gacy versus Tyler Bate for the NXT North American Championship. Wesley. Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee for the NXT Heritage Cup. Noam Dar is going to win that one. And then the main event, Bron Breakker versus Carmelo Hayes 2 for the NXT Championship. Carmelo Hayes. So there's my predictions. What did you guys think of the show? Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button, comment down below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.